What is up, Flick fans, and welcome back to my channel. So yesterday I had a double feature in Nashville, Tennessee, 1917 and Waves. You guys know how I feel about 1917 now. We are talking about Waves, a very highly anticipated film, once again from A24, and let's talk about it. So, this movie traces the journey of a suburban family led by a well-intended but domineering father as they navigate love, forgiveness, and coming together in the aftermath of a loss. Like I said, A24. What are you going to do? It is the best year they've ever had, from The Lighthouse to Midsommar to Waves to The Farewell. I mean, I could go on for days. There are so many movies that have made an impact, that have made a dent in my top 25 movies of the year. And when I do those countdowns, when I make those lists, you're going to see, I'd say the majority of the A24 films that have come out this year pop up on those lists. Regardless, Waves is another one that, I was looking forward to. I thought the trailer was fantastic, but I was also a bit nervous because this is one of those films, if not told correctly, if not told in a way that brings everything together and makes it feel cohesive, it could have easily fallen apart. But this is one of the most emotional and intense and colorful and beautiful experiences you could have in the theater all year. And I say could because I was hesitant going in. I had heard a few critiques that made me nervous. The unconventional style of storytelling, something that I brought up with my Honey Boy review. That movie is unlike anything else I've seen in 2019. Well, I could say the same thing about Waves. Waves is told in such a way, well, it's not even that it's told in such a way, where the story progresses to, and I don't want to get into where it goes because I was caught completely off guard. I had no clue where this was going. It is going to throw some people off, and it shifts perspectives. There is a lead character at the beginning of this film. And then, in the same vein of Wonder that came out a few years ago, how it tells different stories from different points of view, all cohesively around the same subject, it kind of shifts to a different story following the same group of characters, but it tells it from that perspective. And that shift is something that I see a lot of people taking issue with. Well, I prefer the first half of the film because I thought the first half has the emotional depth, that gut punch that you want to feel in a movie like this. I prefer the second half because I think the second half capitalizes on what happens in the first half and allows us to see the aftermath. I've already seen that discussion online, and it's really a divisive thing. Which half of Waves do you prefer? Because they're both so distinctly different. Now, I do have my preference. I actually enjoyed the first half more than I did the second half because I was more interested and engaged in that story as opposed to the one following up what we get in that first act, really what happens in the second act. But I still liked the second half of the movie quite a bit. I really enjoyed the story, and it really is the aftermath of what I'm going to call the event in this film. I don't want to tell you what it is, when it happens, where it goes, but I'm going to call it the event. But the second half is really the family dealing with this, how each individual member goes about life after. And that was such a beautiful story because this family, the relationship is so what seems to be wonderful at the beginning of the film, and then you start to take a look at the stressors and what comes in and starts not necessarily pulling them apart, but it's really the expectation of perfection from Sterling K. Brown's character in Ronald. Sterling K. Brown, by the way, I mean, we all know how wonderful of an actor he is, but his relationship with Kelvin Harrison Jr., really his daughter and his son in this film, is fantastic, and every single time he had to display emotion, which was quite a bit in this film, it was wonderful. It really was. And the guy just kills every aspect of his screen time, as does the aforementioned Kelvin Harrison Jr. The guy's having a year. I didn't get to review Loose on this channel. I did on my Patreon page. But from Loose to Waves, I want him to get nominated and win something marquee. I'm sure he's had some smaller nominations, but he is completely killing it in the up-and-coming actor category, as did Taylor Russell, who at first she's very quiet to herself, but when you really start to learn about her character is when she really comes to life. Lucas Hedges is in this movie. I always say, A24, they have a basement, and every now and then they'll let Timothée Chalamet come out. Every now and then they'll let Lucas Hedges come out. Who wants to be in this movie? It was Lucas Hedges this time. We also have Alexa Demie as Alexis. She was in Euphoria earlier this year. She was great. And it really is the relationship between her and Kelvin Harrison Jr.'s character that is, that's what pulls you in the first half. And then in the second half, we broaden our reach and explore the family a bit more. Austin, I still don't know what the movie is about. that's kind of good. You guys know what A24 is. You know this is going to be an emotional gut punch, and understand that it is one of the biggest emotional gut punches of the year. That's one complaint that I also see about this film, is there are so many tragic things that happen to pretty much all of our characters. Just know that going in, that you're going to sit there having tears come out of your eyes, that it's going to be too much for some. And I get that. I understand Waves is not a movie for everyone. I do want to point out that the cinematographer, aka our same cinematographer from It Comes at Night and Euphoria, Drew Daniels, does the cinematography here. Some of the best of the year. The use of color, the shot selection. There are even some shots that were in the trailer that I thought were gorgeous that didn't even make it into the movie. And I'm like, dang, I wish I could have seen that, but I did see a film that is really sticking with me. It's been almost 24 hours now. I'm still thinking about it. Waves is just an A24 emotional experience that worked for me. It will not work for everyone. If you guys enjoyed this video, if you like these reviews, hit that thumbs up button, and I will definitely do more. I'm going a 91% for Waves. Look for it in my honorable mentions, or maybe my top 10 list at the end of the year. I don't know. I have a lot of reflection to do, a lot of things to think about. Later on is most likely going to be my review for Playmobil. Woo! And then maybe some trailer reactions, but a lot of things dropping this week. Be on the lookout. Hit that notification bell if you haven't already. You guys are the best, and I'll see you soon.